Okay, my friends, I thought that we had started, so we're going to start from here. What I have in here is I have about 2.5 large baked potatoes that I have peeled. I cut them in half lengthwise, I cut them in quarters, and then I diced them up. And put them in my cast iron skillet. I coated the bottom of it with canola oil. So what we're making today, because I thought we had already started this, so I've already been down this road. What we're making today is we're making fried potatoes and salmon patties. When I was a kid, whenever we had salmon patties, we always had fried potatoes. So last night we had our little Bible group and we got on the subject of salmon patties. So tonight for dinner, that's what it was. So I figured I'd show you how to make both of them, or how I make both of them anyway. So just potatoes in here. I have peeled my onions and washed them. And so now what I'm going to do is, let me bring this back up here, as close as I can anyway, is I'm going to cut it, leave it on its side, see if you can see that, cut down this way, almost all the way through, but not quite to the edge, see? And I'm going to do that 2 or 3 times, depends on the width, the size of your onion. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut this way. I'm trying to let you see it. And then this way. And this way it's all diced perfectly. It's all the same size. And then I'm going to take this last end and lay it flat and mill it. Keep the tip of your knife on the board. And your fingers out of the way. So I'm going to add these onions into my potatoes. Do it again. Again, flat side down. Almost all the way through. A couple of times. 2. This one's a little bit bigger, so I can do about 4. Then I'm going to take it, put it face down, cut almost to the back, not all the way to the back, almost to the back. And then back around this way. And flip that end down back on its face. And then you pretty much have uniform pieces, which is a good thing. You can hear this thing snap, crackling, and popping. It's going to want to be turned around a little bit here. And I'm starting with the potatoes first because, these are getting a nice little crisp on them. Because they're going to take longer than the patties are. Salmon, salmon in a can, which is what I'm doing, is like tuna, right? So it's already cooked. I'm just going to add some ingredients to it and make a patty out of it. So really, I'm just kind of getting the sear and heating it up and making it come into a form. This is going to take longer, so that's why I'm doing this first. And maybe I'll just put a little bit more. It's a big old pan of potatoes. It'll take it. Now, I'm going to put garlic, salt, and pepper in here. And I'm not going to use fresh garlic. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to use granulated garlic. If I use fresh garlic, it's going to burn. Because, these are fried potatoes and they're going to cook for a long time. And so I don't want to use fresh garlic. I'm going to use my granulated garlic. And you hear me talk about granulated garlic all the time, right? I'm always saying, to me, garlic powder, garlic salt is way too salty to be able to control the rest of your salt. And garlic powder, to me, it just tastes like very chemically. So I like granulated garlic. It's what I use. Okay, that's good. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more oil to that because it ended up being a pretty good potload of potatoes. So I'm going to stir it. Now I'm going to reduce this down to about a medium heat. I kind of had it on a high heat to start with, but it's kind of a medium heat. And now I'm going to season it up. So, I'm going to, and you know what, salt and pepper, that stuff's all to your taste. So I'm not going to tell you to put in a teaspoon or whatever. You do that to your taste. Quite honestly, if I would have thought ahead of time, I would have put some peppers in here too, but I didn't. So we're good with that. And then my granulated garlic. And you know, I always tell you, you know, I get this at Kirkland's. Kirkland's is, Costco is where I get it. Kirkland's is their brand. So if you hear me say, you know, oh, I got it at Kirkland's, please know that I mean I got it at Costco. So I love my Costco now. I do. All right, so let me get this turned around, and I will probably season it again, because I will taste it as we move forward. So what I'm going to do right this minute, though, is I'm going to get a lid and cover this. Hang on. I'll be right there. I'm coming. Oh, she says. Man, let's just go with this one. No, I don't like that one. Okay, you're going to have to wait a second while I dig one out. Okay, I did want you to see that I covered these potatoes, and because what I'm doing here is I'm steaming them for just a few minutes because I want them to cook through and get tender. And then I will remove this top and let them go a little bit, well, a lot longer because I like them to get crisp. So, but I gotta move this to another burner. So, wanted to show you that. Putting the lid back on here and sliding this over here. Now this guy gets front and center. So, what I'm doing now is I'm making the salmon patties. Now, when you can salmon, when you get it, I want to show you this. I kind of go through here and I clean it because sometimes it has, see this? It's like a little piece of cartilage. And it's not a big deal. Where's my can? Here it is. But you just kind of got to clean it out of there. There's not a ton of them in there, but I do kind of like to go through here, and if I see any, there's another one, I just toss it away. So, you know, you kind of just, and you're going to break this up anyway to make, you know, your patty. And there's not usually too many of them, but if there are, it's no big deal. It's just, let me not spill salmon juice all over. It's just the, you know, it's just the cartilage. It's not a big deal. It's not anything wrong with it or anything like that. And you can feel, as you do this, you can feel them. Just break it up, because you're going to break it up, like I said, to make the patties anyway. So just kind of pull it between your fingers and crumble it, so to speak. And if you feel one, trash it. And you will. And it's quite normal. It's quite normal. All right. I'm really, you know, we haven't had these in a really long time, so last night when my friend Walt mentioned them, we're like, oh yeah, salmon patties, sounds good. Okay, see how I've crumbled all that up? I'll bring you up here, hopefully won't spill my juice all over the place. You see that? There you go. So I'm gonna put that in my little mixing bowl there. Get rid of this. Rinse off my hands. And like I said, this is like tuna, right? So it's cooked. You don't have to worry about that. So to this, I'm going to add a sleeve of saltines. Now, I have just mashed all, let me get them all over the place. I have mashed them all up. So I mashed them in their bag. I mean, you can put them in a Ziploc and use a rolling pin or whatever, but I just crunch them up in here. Okay. To that, I'm going to add 1 egg. And I am gonna, you know my thing I'm doing. I can't do it, Captain. I gotta put it in something else. I can't just crack it in there. The one time I don't do that, I will have a bad egg. So, good egg in the bowl. And the rest of this onion. So let me get this one. Again, I'm going down this way. Then on the side, back this way. I know it's not the most ideal thing for you to see, but you get the gist, hopefully. Spin it this way. And the reason I do this, as I've told you many times, is because then all of my onion pieces are the same. You're not going to get a hold of a big giant piece of onion. They're all going to be uniform. They're all going to cook the same. And there you go. And it's fast. It's much faster. So, see? They're all about the same size, roughly. And in that case. Okay, let me get rid of that. All right, so now my favorite instruments, and you know what? Let's just take my rings off. No reason for them to be in the mess. And before I do that, let's check on our potatoes. I know you can't see them, but they're about to the point, where I'm going to remove this lid. I know you can't see them. Bear with me. Hang in there. Oh, come on. Where are you? Oh, this will work. So you see them here? So what I'm going to do is, because they're nice and tender now, and see that crispy part there? That's what I want all of them to look like. So I'm going to leave the lid off now and just let them continue to brown. Timing wise, it's perfect though, because these patties will take no time, and this will just finish up. Okay, so I am going to get some oil going in my little cast iron, or my smaller cast iron anyway. Get that going. I'm going to actually turn it on low because it's going to take me just a minute to get this. And I'm going to work all of this together into a patty. I'm going to need another egg, and I'm going to need a little bit of milk. I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to tell you the most important part. Duke's Mayo. Now that's my mayo of choice. So I'm going to call that 1/4 of a cup. So maybe 1/3 of a cup-ish. And actually, that's plenty of that. So I'm going to just stir this in. I'm going to add salt and pepper. There we go. And I'm going to make, and have I got that going? Yes, I do. Turn that. Give us some little heat and give it a little sizzle factor. I'm going to go light on the salt because the Duke's has some salt in it, so don't need to get too much in there. A little bit more. And it's time to patty them. Alright, so I am going to get one of my favorite things, scoops. I have scoops in every size and shape, trust me. And I do because my niece had a restaurant, and I got to go through the kitchen before she sold it. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it down in my oil. And then I'm going to kind of smash it out and just let it sit there. This is going to take me obviously a couple of batches because I have a smaller frying pan. So I will be back when these things are ready to flip, okay? Okay, actually I've done a few batches since we've last been here, but I wanted to show you kind of the edges of this, if you can see the edges when they're ready to turn. And there you go. Holding this camera and turning this, I'm telling you, I'm multi-talented. And there you go. That's the nice brown color you want on them. And so I have over here 4 patties. I have 2 in here, and I have 1 more to make. So it really does make a whole. And it's just so good. It's just one of those. This is comfort food to me. This reminds me of a Wednesday night being 15 years old. Let me show you the potatoes. They are right here. And, as I told you, let's see. Right here. And as I told you, this is what I wanted. I wanted to get them nice and tender, and then I wanted to let them get good and brown and crisp. They are not burnt. They are not burnt. They are absolutely brown, crisp, and going to be delicious. So that's going to be our dinner. Salmon patties and fried potatoes. It's a simple meal, simple fare, but really good. I hope you try it. Have a great night.